guys, what's up? It's Haley, and today I am coming back at ya with another video. Today's video I am super excited for. I don't know why, maybe because it's in the spirit of Halloween and spooky season, but I am so excited that I thought of this story to tell you guys because I almost forgot about it. Today, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys the story of the first time that I ever used a Ouija board. Yeah, let's just get into the story. I'm trying to film this before I have to go to work, so fingers crossed I'm able to get through this story fast and not stumble and ramble for too long, because this was a while ago, like 2 or 3 years ago. This was a while ago and I gotta try to recall everything that happened off the top of my head, so wish me luck, but let's just get into it.
I gotta stop saying so after every freaking pause in my story. Anyways,
if you guys aren't already aware, I am one to be kind of into the whole paranormal world. I find it very intriguing, very interesting, because personally I have had experiences in the past with spooky, scary things, and if you guys have seen my paranormal stories video, you will know all about that. So I have always been very intrigued by the Ouija board, and I've always watched other YouTube videos on the Ouija board and other people's experiences, and I have personally always wanted to try it, but I was always too scared to try it because I 100% believe in the paranormal world, and I wasn't sure if that was a line that I was ready to cross. So it just so happened to be Halloween night when we decided to do this. Coincidental, right? I thought this was perfect timing considering Halloween is approaching very shortly. Sophia and I went ahead and headed to Target, I'm pretty sure, and we picked up our very own Ouija board. Let me just put a disclaimer, this is definitely not something that I recommend for anyone to do just because you never know what could come out of this, and we were taking a big risk just wanting to see what happened. Our other friend Madison was terrified, to say the least, to do this. She didn't really want any part of it, and that's going to continue throughout the rest of the story, but we dragged her along and she was basically our chauffeur. Sophia was of course 100% down to do it because she's my we do everything together. Yeah. So we went and picked up a Ouija board and we all piled in the car together and decided to head off to different areas on base that we thought we would get the most action out of, I guess we could say, because I have done my research on Ouija boards and I do know that you should never play alone, first off, and you should never do it inside your home because you don't want to bring any of that scary, spooky shit into your house. No thank you. So we decided to bring it elsewhere, which, I mean, hey, pat on the back for that. But at the time we were at Madison's house and she lived on... Why am I spacing? I'm a moron. I can't even tell a story without messing up.
What the what?
The base that Madison stayed on, what was it called?
Ward Island?
Oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you, you're a lifesaver. It was there, it was like on the tip of my tongue, but just like wasn't coming out. And I'm like right in the middle of filming, so I was like, Sophia's gonna know. She got me.
Are you filming right now?
I am, yeah. You wanna say hi?
Hello, my best friend's a dumbass, but I love her, and that's all I gotta say.
Facts. Okay, thank you. Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Okay, bye. We were staying on Ford Island. There's just a lot of history on that base. So we figured, you know, we could potentially get a lot of action from doing the Ouija board in certain areas. I don't know, we just thought that it would be a good idea, and that's what we did. So we basically just explored Ford Island for different areas to set up. One of the first places that we went to was actually a memorial area. I don't think actual people were buried in this area. It was just tombstones to remember the ones who had passed, and we decided to set up on one of the little stone ledges and play the Ouija board. This was our first time, I think, really truly trying, and Madison was terrified. I remember she was making such a huge deal of it, and she didn't want anything to do with it. She didn't want to be anywhere near us when we were doing it. She literally brought a Bible with her and stayed all the way over by the car on the other side and was just complaining the whole time that basically we were going to do this, which I don't blame her because it is a very scary thing. And yeah, but she was not having it. So she stayed over there by herself, and Sophia, me, and Kat all sat down around the Ouija board. We did a quick little prayer. Kat doesn't believe in God, so, you know, she kind of sat out on that one, but Sophia and I went ahead and did a little prayer and just asked that if we do get something from this, that it is nothing that's going to follow us home, nothing that has ill intentions, that we just want to reach out and see if there is any good spirits there that are willing to talk to us, that maybe are lonely. After praying, we went ahead and did our little thing. We all put 2 fingers on the planchette and spun it around in a circle 3 different times and said, are there any spirits here that would like to talk to us? And we waited, and we waited, and we waited, and nothing was really happening. It did feel a little like weird, like, you know, whenever you're doing something that is a little risque and you just have like an overall weird sensation that something's going to happen or that the air is a little bit different. Yeah, we could definitely feel, I don't know, we just could feel the heaviness of what it was that we were attempting to do. And, you know, nothing happened at first. It took a couple tries, but after like the 3rd try, we said, is there anybody here who would like to talk to us? And it almost immediately went to no. We all 3 swore to each other that nobody was touching or moving the planchette, because the whole purpose of doing this is not to trick one another or pull a prank on one another. The whole thing was to see if this was legit or not, and we all promised and swore to each other before that we wouldn't move it as a joke or anything, and we still swore that nobody was moving it, and it moved to no. And we all were a little freaked out, not gonna lie. Like, Kat didn't really believe in this kind of stuff, so it was really interesting to gauge all of our different thoughts and opinions on it, even though we all come from different backgrounds and believe in different things. So it went to no, and we were like, okay, well, there's our sign. We said goodbye. That was that, right? Something I should highlight is that you can definitely feel the difference from somebody pushing the planchette themselves or a spirit, I guess, pushing the planchette. You can definitely like feel the difference. It's a very odd feeling, like airy. It's very airy, and whenever you're pushing it, it feels like, it just feels unreal. Like, it's really hard to explain, but you can definitely feel the difference in the planchette when somebody is physically pushing it or when it's moving on its own. So that was also an indicator that we were all telling the truth. Nobody was trying to pull a prank on one another, that this thing was actually moving. You know, as hard as it is to believe, it was moving, and it's still to this day, it makes me feel weird. Like, I never thought, I don't know, like, I knew that it was a thing, and I knew that it was possible that it could work, but I never thought that it would work for me or that I would get to experience it. So it was a very brief interaction. The spirit that we got in contact with didn't want to talk, so we weren't going to push it. Well, we'll get there. But we put goodbye, you know, brought the planchette down, said goodbye, and then gave it a couple minutes, and then we tried again. Same spot, same area, and we said, you know, put it in a circle 3 times, said, is there anybody here who would like to talk to us? And this time, somebody said yes. And we were like, okay, cool. Because we were a little hesitant due to just have gotten in contact with a spirit and them saying no, that they weren't interested in talking to us, and then literally in the exact same spot, like a minute after, getting somebody who said that they wanted to talk. We were a little nervous, hoping that it was a different spirit, hoping that the previous spirit was just messing with us, but I don't know. It was a little sketch, but we really wanted some results out of it. We didn't want to do this for nothing. We really wanted to see like what was up. So we tried again, and we got somebody to say yes this time. We asked what their name was, and they started to move to M. And we said, okay. And then they moved to E. And then they moved to G. And then they stopped. So Meg. We were like, okay, so your name is Meg. And they said yes. And then I think we went to ask how old Meg was. Or, yeah, just how old was Meg? Are you busy right now?
No, I'm not. Why was that?
Okay, I just had to ask you because I'm like spacing, but what happened whenever we talked to Meg? Did she tell us how old she was?
Oh, damn it. I forgot her name was Meg.
Yeah, okay, do you remember, like, we asked, because wasn't there something weird? Like, we asked her, remember the first one said no, they didn't want to talk to us. So we waited, and then we got Meg, and we were, like, looking for her tombstone or whatever, or to see if she was, like, on one of the little things. But didn't she, like, weird us out? She, like, said her age, or she went to go do something that was, like, sketch, and we had to say goodbye. I can't remember.
Yeah, she, like, said goodbye, I think.
Oh, she said goodbye.
Like, she was, like, yeah. So, like, because we were asking her questions, and, like, she kind of, like, moved the board around, and, like, it wasn't, like, on a certain thing, and then it just went straight to goodbye, and that freaked us out.
Okay, yeah, I do remember that, because we said goodbye to the first one, because it said it didn't want to talk, right? But she was the one who, like, shut down the conversation.
Yeah.
Did she answer any of the questions? Like, how old she was? I can't remember.
That was so long ago.
It was.
I kind of looked at that night.
It was so long ago. If you can't, it's okay. I just thought that I would ask.
I don't remember. I'm pretty sure that she just kept moving the board around and then went to goodbye. So that was some, like, demon kind of shit. I was not happy.
So she just wouldn't answer. I feel like I do remember that. I definitely remember her saying goodbye now. And I think she just never answered our questions, and we kept asking. Like, we were like, you know, hey, how old are you? And she was like, bye, bitch.
Yeah.
Okay.
All I remember was Madison standing 20 feet away with a Bible.
Yes, dude, yes, I said that because she was, like, tripped out. She was not about that life. And then didn't it not work the rest of the time that we went to the other places?
Yeah, I think Madison's Bible kind of was messing with me.
Probably. Oh, my goodness. Okay, well, thank you. All right, love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye. Clearly, as you guys can see, all of our memories suck. It's not just me, but basically, we asked Meg some more questions, and we were trying to get her to answer basic questions like, how old are you? All that fun stuff. And as you heard Sophia say, she was, like, dodging the question. She wouldn't answer. The only thing that she ever answered was her name. And when we kept asking questions, she would move to random spots on the board that wasn't like an actual letter or an actual number. It would be like right in the middle, or she would just randomly move it to places that didn't make sense. So I think she just got fed up after a while, and she was the one to push our planchette to goodbye, because obviously we still wanted to talk to her and try to get some answers and see like what was up, and she was not about that life apparently. She was not feeling our vibe, and she pushed the planchette to goodbye. I remember this because I remember it was like pushed off the board and it got stuck like on the corner of the board, and I like got nervous because there's certain rules to the Ouija board where you have to make sure you do things the right way, or it could end up turning really bad really fast. So I remember the planchette got stuck on the edge of the board and we couldn't fully put the planchette over goodbye. And I like kind of had to like lift my finger off it really fast to like push it back on the board, and then we could do goodbye. So that freaked me out a little bit because I was not trying to get possessed by no demons. I was not trying to get followed home by no demons. I was not about that life. But yeah, Meg was not having it. She didn't really want to talk to us. At least she gave us her name. I mean, it was, the whole experience was still like insane, but we didn't get a whole lot out of it, and we still left with a whole lot of questions. We did go to other spots on Ford Island that night and tried playing again, and it just wasn't working. We even went to like these abandoned houses that used to be around years ago, and they're like completely condemned now and need to be torn down. We went to those and sat on the front porch of one of them, and it just wasn't happening. It just wasn't working. We weren't getting any kind of action whatsoever, not even like a little bit of anybody responding to us. So eventually we did just call it a night, and we felt satisfied with knowing it did work for at least like a minute. But yeah, I mean, I did forget to tell you guys, after we got done talking to Meg and we said our goodbyes with her, we did get up and start looking at the names on the tombstones or like memorial stones. We were going around and looking to see if there was anybody with the name that resembled Meg or Megan, anything, and we weren't able to find anything of the sort. So Meg was just some random girl just chilling, or boy, I don't know who Meg was, but you know, it was the experience that we got to have. Even if it wasn't anything super intense or crazy, maybe it worked out for the best that way. At the end of the day though, it doesn't really matter if I have some elaborate story on what happened with the Ouija board and getting possessed and it following me home. Thank God, honestly, thank God that none of that happened. Maybe it worked out the way it did for a reason, and I am grateful that we had such a positive experience with it, I guess you would say. But I do not recommend you guys trying this for yourself. Take it from me, it works. Like, it works. It's still hard for me to believe, honestly, because it's such a weird concept to try to wrap your head around. Whether you believe in the paranormal or not, it worked. And it was the weirdest, strangest feeling, and I still have a lot of questions about it, but I don't know if I would be willing to mess with that kind of stuff now in my life and potentially, I don't know, have some weird crap start happening to me. I don't want that, and I don't want that for you guys. So take this video as your sign that yes, it's a thing, but you don't have to experience it for yourself. If you're really that interested, you can do your own research and watch other YouTubers' videos on it and see story times on it, because it is a very interesting concept and it is very real. So do with that what you will. But yeah, I was just here to tell you guys my experience with it, and after that I never had any weird situations or paranormal experiences that I would assume would be brought on from playing the Ouija board. I got lucky though. It is not like that for a lot of people. If you guys would like to see more videos like these and see a little bit more about the Ouija board, I do recommend going to see Jade's channel. I'll go ahead and link her channel down in the description, because she used to do a lot of videos with the Ouija board and her spirit friend that she met on the Ouija board, and she talks a lot about her experiences with it and how it went from something really good to something not so good. And if you guys would like to see more about that kind of stuff, I definitely recommend watching her videos, because she gives a lot of good insight of being, you know, new to the whole Ouija board world as well. But yeah, that was it for my video, you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I know it wasn't anything crazy, but this is my experience. This is what happened, and I just felt like it would be cool to share it with you guys and to give you guys a little insight on the Ouija board and whether it's real or fake. And it is almost spooky, well, I mean, it is spooky season, but it's almost Halloween, and this literally took place on Halloween. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe and thumbs this video up if you'd like to see more of me in the future. I'm just here to make videos and have a good time. So if you're here to join me on this journey, be sure to subscribe. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!